Boom. It's a beautiful Thursday evening, and I'm sitting here at my office. I usually, for those of you that really care to know, because I get this a lot, people sort of ask me, what time do you get to the office? What time do you work? What time do you leave? I get these questions all the time. And I make it a point to inform all of you that I'm just a regular guy, just like you. I wake up every morning at about 5:30. I get to the office 7:30, somewhere there. I do my thing. I do Simoson work. I vlog. I do all kinds of stuff. And anytime I feel the need to sprinkle a bit of SML TV dust on a trending topic, the privilege, the honor of having internet on my phone, a couple of really nice lights, a great microphone, boom, we're in business. I was amused the other day, somebody says, you sound obsessed. Why are you obsessed? Guys, it's a trending topic. Everybody's talking about this. And must I explain that to you? Must I explain to you that current affairs are supposed to be commented on currently? In the words of my relative Mutale Mwanza, a bikini is to be worn in the same fashion that current affairs are to be commented on currently. So we are not obsessed. We are simply talking about what everybody is talking about. And I in response to that comment, when somebody says to me, you sound obsessed. I said, well, is Daily Mail obsessed? Because that's the headline, okay? Because the headline on Daily Mail was, I think, government calls for calm or something like that. Is Daily Nation obsessed? Because the headline is about this topic. Is the Diggers obsessed? Because the headline is this topic. And and incidentally, guys, I must bring something up that you guys consistently bring up, and again, it's misunderstood and it's misinterpreted. A few years ago, I was called by Sunday Chanda, and Sunday Chanda called me up and said, listen, we've got a rally in Kanyama. Miles Asampa is running for mayor, and the rally in Kanyama is a culmination of the party's effort to sort of, push this candidate forward. And now remember, even though the PF were peddling Miles as their candidate, the truth is the PF didn't like Miles, and Miles knew it. And I'm not outing anything. I'm not trying to sound disparaging or trying to sound hateful. I'm just telling you the truth. Miles Sampa knew that the PF didn't like him very much. Edgar Lungu liked Miles. But the people around ECL hated the fact that ECL liked Miles. So Sunday Chanda calls me up and he says, listen, well, we're going to have a rally and there are several media houses that are going to be there. How much do you charge to cover that event? I gave them an invoice, quotation first. He agreed to the amount, sent them an invoice. I went to Kanyama. My very first rally, because later on, I was asked to cover the virtual rallies. You remember the virtual rallies during the 2021 elections. And incidentally, I covered all of them. I covered UPND rallies. I went to Mulungushi when ECL filed his nomination, successfully filed. I went to Mulungushi when Hakainde Hichilema filed. That is what media houses do. But somehow you guys have it in your head that, no, you are dancing on the stage. That's how I do it. When election season comes, social media people, social media influencers, vloggers, listen up. Let me tell you, when election season rolls around, if you have any semblance of a social media presence, throw yourself in the middle of it, because that is the time to make money. Everybody's waiting to spend money. whether it's UPND, PF. I was paid by UPND, I was paid by PF. Why? Because SML TV is a media house, an online media house. And so, you know, Diamond TV was there at Kanyama, there was Movie TV was there. We were all there. The only difference is I do it in my way. I do it in my style. I'll never forget, I have to tell you this, I'll give you this little anecdote. When Sunday Chanda, when I went to see Sunday Chanda at his office during I finished talking about the rally, the Kanyama rally. I went there, I covered it, I had lots of fun, I was on stage, I spoke to, that video is me. I'm the one who recorded that video. I'm the one who posted it on my page. Okay? So, you know, I talked to the crowd, I spoke to people, because that's how I do it. You know, when I vlog, I speak to, I love talking, I love going to the very back of the crowd, because that's where you get the real meat of a sense of who the people are. You know, I mean, it's fine and dandy to speak to the bigwigs on the stage, but the best fun is speaking to the average citizen who's in the very back, who doesn't even expect to be spoken to. So, you know, I do that. I do my thing, and I was doing some pretty hot stuff, you know, and I posted it. But you guys, Andrew Ejimadu, this is CS0 in Nigeria, this despot, this bottom feeder, this false prophet, this leviathan of a con man, he loves to post this video that he got off of my page. Emmanuel Mwamba the other day posted the same video. This amateur photographer, he did the same thing. And they all seem to think that when they post that somehow that is an endorsement of the political party PF, when they don't realize that I was there to cover the event in my way. Here's my advice. When election season comes around in America, for example, CNN doesn't care who it is. They don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent. As long as you come to the table and say, what is your fee to advertise our political party? CNN simply gives them an invoice, they pay. Donald Trump has commercials on CNN. Joe Biden had commercials on CNN. But in Zambia, no, you were on stage. Yeah, I even saw you dancing. Who cares? That's my way. I do it, and I will never stop doing it that way. And guys, I will tell you now, of course things have changed a bit now, but I did say earlier that for me, it doesn't matter who it is. Next year, 2021, for you vloggers out there, when political parties want to use your platform to advertise their manifesto, take the money. Take the money. Don't stand on the fence. You know, don't be high and mighty. You don't start saying, oh, no, I don't believe in that political party's man. No, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you are a medium that the political parties are interested in using in order to disseminate the information. The people will choose. It is the people that vote. It's the people that select. The political parties are using your platform. So I'll never forget when I went to see Sunday Chanda, who was very gracious and kind to me in 2021. And I said to him, I said, look, if the PF are thinking about, you know, sort of using me through this election period, and remember there was this idea of virtual rallies were a big hot thing back then. And social media platforms were minting money through virtual rallies. And Sunday Chanda said to me, hey, listen, just give us a quote and we'll make it work. And when I quoted him, Sunday Chanda said he looked at the quote and he said, are you sure? Are you sure you want to, you know, because we can go higher than this. I said, really? He said, yeah, I mean, you're a social media platform. You know, you guys do some amazing work. So just quote us a decent quote. I gave him an astronomical quote. Would you believe those guys paid me? I mean, when I saw the transfer in my account, I was thinking, whoa, all of this? Yeah. And it's going to be the same in 2021. So, mwewa Facebook pages, build your numbers so that in 2021, these political parties, they use you Make money. Don't fool around. Anyway, this is what I want to tell you. You know, in following up my payment, every time, because the way it worked is, you know, you do the work, and then they pay you. I remember one guy was saying to me he was having difficulties getting paid, but I would always get my payment on time. And I remember this lady at the PF. It was a media house that was handling all the PF adverts. So she calls me up and she says, "Mr. Mwewa, I don't know what it is, but there's somebody over there that likes you, that makes sure that your payment comes through every single time." I suspect that person was Sunday Chanda. Sunday Chanda always made sure that we got paid. Yeah. So my point is, get on with it, okay? Alrighty, guys, as many of you know, HH, the President of the Republic, has just addressed the nation, and he said some very pertinent things. Three things I want to focus on very quickly. The very first thing he noted was that we've been in mourning as a nation. This period of national mourning has been going on for 14 days, okay, 2 weeks. Now, in the 2 weeks of national mourning, it feels like a heavy, dark cloud that is hovering over the nation and placing us in a state of emotional purgatory. And that's what these things do. You know, Zambia, I often say, is a nation of funerals. People love to call in and say, "Oh, I can't come into work. I've got a funeral." If any of you that have maids or people that work in your garden, invariably, this is something that you always have to deal with, because one day or another, they call you up and say, "Oh, Ninkwate Chidiro, my son has died," or a close relative, we have to go. So, so we have become a culture of funerals. And so when this funeral, this state funeral, the national mourning period was announced, it's always like a dark cloud hovering over progress, because as many of you know, B-Flow wrote something the other day that was so revealing. And these are things that we don't think about. Some of you guys don't realize that when the national mourning period is announced, it means any music of an entertainment nature is suspended. Any festivities of a celebratory nature are suspended. Now, when they are suspended, it means our brothers and sisters in the entertainment fraternity, it means their livelihood is stifled. Their revenue stream is interrupted. Okay, that's what it means. So HH recognized that we've been in a period of national mourning. We've been in a state as a nation of emotional purgatory for 14 days. And this is against the backdrop of this administration making amazing strides to sort of reach an amicable, symbiotic arrangement to where both parties see eye to eye for the good of the nation. HH is on record as having bent backwards. That's an Americanism. He bent over backwards to try and sort of meet the Lungu family halfway so that this process can be expedited. But Yawe Sugar, the family, and through its conduit, Makevi Maniman Zulu, who's only interested in billable hours. I must tell you that if you think that Makebi Zulu is doing what he's doing because he loves the Lungu family, no, he does it because of billable hours, and rightly so, because he's a lawyer and he's a businessman. So everything he's doing, lawyers, the longer it takes, the more money he makes. Think of it in that way. Let me say that again. The longer this whole process takes, the longer he plays this role of being a mediator between the family and government, the more money he makes. I mean, that's a given. So anyway, HH now has sort of come to the precipice of tolerance. And he's basically said, look, we've bent over backwards. We've extended olive branches on multiple occasions. And it seems to us that the family is hell-bent on making sure that this process is somehow inhibited, somehow hindered, somehow encumbered. So because of that, I think that it's better we just lift this period of national mourning, because remember, technically we're supposed to go through 9 days. But because it was clear that Valungu's family, and through its conduit, Makebi Zulu, were simply being a nuisance. And that is the only word that fits this scenario. They were being a nuisance. Because you remember Makebi Zulu, very quickly, let me recap. Makebi Zulu said that the reasons that the family reneged, the family decided not to fly the body on Wednesday, June the 18th, was because RDA was working on the roads, the road that led to the official residence of ECL in Chafwema. So because RDA was rehabilitating that road, Makebi Zulu felt that this was not in line with what they had agreed. Very quickly, government called RDA and said, RDA, if you're pango musebolekeni, bantu chitumbi chikesa, they are going to be moving the body to and fro. Mulungushi, Chifwema, Chifwema, Mulungushi, Mulungushi, Chifwema. For 3 days, they were going to do that. Government told RDA, down tools. They did. Secondly, Makebi said, no, on the 17th of June, you said that no one is allowed to go to the airport except invited guests. Why? Secretary to the cabinet made it abundantly clear as to why that was. It was a security concern. You cannot allow 10, 15, 20,000 politically charged cadres who have an axe to grind to go to KK International Airport. The airport will be vandalized. The airport will be ruined. People will be robbed. Cars, can you imagine? Airport, Sparker jersey, and then you release 15,000 cadres in that car park. Wushama imiota kuti vashipanya. Ama windshield wipers kuti vayapanya. Ama mirrors kuti vayapanya. They can't, So the issue of insisting that the airport be a no-go area for just any Jim and Jack was a wise decision, because it protected not only people's lives, it protected citizens and their property. I mean, can you imagine the coffin being transported from KK International Airport down what is this, Great East Road with the cadres? Iwe fuma murodi iwe, tamwena chitwalete chitumbi iwe, iwe driver iwe, twala kudiringa, ifwe ni olo tatwangasha, tuishira mukulosha kuno, tamwena chitwalete chitumbi tuleshindike chitumbi, iwe chimoto kachobe chilipakati pa msewa, fuma murodi iwe, twala kudiringa iwe, chilishani. That is what you would have to deal with. The government recognizes that, and they know that it's not necessary to have that. So they did away with that. Now, that was offensive to Tasila Lungu and the Makebi Zulu and the family. No, you have to allow Zambians to come. For what? For them to destabilize the peace? No, that is wrong, and that is irresponsible. Okay, let's just be clear. That's irresponsible. And then lastly, the issue of insisting that Valungu said that he didn't want HH anywhere near his body when he dies. First of all, that is a complete lie. Nobody talks like that. Nobody sits on their deathbed with the death rattle in their throat saying, "Inenga nafwa, alate chakwe shokuleta HH fire amparaman, ateshefwa amparaman, ale ntaluka, eramparabayo." Nobody talks like that. Bufugo. You are just lying to the Zambian people. You are lying to the Zambian people, and the truth is not in you. Let me echo what John Sangwa said in saying that ECL was a lawyer. And if indeed those wishes were authentic, which I know were not, Edgar Lungu would have simply gone on record. But now, you can't simply depend on a document that says thus and so, etc. You can't. Because documents can be forged. All you have to do is just go to Matero there, and there will be a document stating that this, that, and the other. So now, you need a video recording, and even then, in this new age of deep fake and artificial intelligence, all it takes is someone to use the ECL's voice and tell AI, create an image where ECL is saying, fire HH, Ampalame, Kuchirido. That's all it takes. There can be an amateur video created by AI, and you take it to Kushangombo, you take it to Kwakasomo Kuchinsadi, you take that video to Kutwapia Kundola. They'll believe it. They'll say, oh, Balungu Balandirati, Manafia Balandide. Catch the AI. So, in this environment, you can't trust anyone. These politicians, Makamaka, Given Lubinda, Emmanuel Mwamba, Rafael Hajaka Lakachinda. Alapanga palibo muntu panwe sondao. Nganamu mwana no mubidi waenda. Nika Rafael. Scare them. Those chaps, dangerous. Dangerous chaps. They are enemies of peace, enemies of progress, enemies of one Zambia, one nation. Those chaps. So, HH not only lifted the period of national mourning, the period of national mourning. He basically just brought it. He just put a stop to it and said, look, we're not going to do this anymore. We've done everything within our power to sort of meet halfway. Obviously, it's not working. The Zambian people need to get back to work. The Zambian people need closure. The Zambian people need to have some semblance of moving on. Yes, we are grieved as a people. Yes, we're sad that our late president, our sixth and former president passed away, but life moves on. It's the circle of life. Basically, HH was preaching the message of continuity. Continuity. That was the theme of that broadcast. And let me also very quickly point out that where we stand now, there are two things that are likely to happen over the next several weeks. And let me jump ahead and just chime in very quickly on these two things. Number one, I found it strange and highly unorthodox, highly irregular, for the PF cadres to come up with their own slogan. No consultation, no sense of cohesiveness in terms of coming together and brainstorming. Kuti ifiba lungu bafwa, what is our plan B in terms of slogans? What are we going to say? Our sugar. Well, PF, these guys are dumber than a box of hammers. Na bakolwa na babaira. Ukuba lepepe chamba baletwe so apa chala bashani nomba. So ifiba lungu baya. Twala slogan yala bashani. Again, Fiati, dead or alive. Let Pushani. How if I believe in Simamene, Nimamene Buana. So, that's the boy, Tizakambati, dead or alive. PF. Do you see what we have to deal with? Do you see the level of foolishness and skullduggery that we have to deal with? These are the people that we have to look at and say, Eva opposition, Eva opposition. Dead or alive, Akamba. Ero ngatwaranda ko? Twarufyanya. Ngatwaranda ko? Hawe mwewa, iwe. Alebwe rapo dead or alive. Mwe fipululu mwe. Mwe mpanya mwe. Talk about being unoriginal. Do you know what that means when you say that? It means you can't come up, you cannot live beyond ECL. Bane, there's life after death. The word of God said, let the dead bury the dead. Let's focus on the future. Let the dead bury the dead. But here it is, you're stuck in limbo and purgatory, talking about dead or alive. And you want us to take you seriously. It means you can't live, you cannot see beyond your nose. That's what it means. It means you can't see beyond the ECL. I'm candidates, I'm a PF. I mean, there are so many candidates there. And you are stuck with the Adebore, put dead or alive. Mwebantu please na papata. Icho into. Helionga tuananda kotu arufyanya. Tuananda kotu abembuka. Mwefi pululu mwe. Somebody needs to knock some sense into you jokers. Unbelievable. And then here it is. The other thing that's going to happen, I will tell you now, is that when it comes time to select ECL successor, because you know that old adage, success without a successor is failure. And the PF are adept at failure. Adept. I mean, they put the letter A in adept. Those chaps. I will tell you now. You wait until this issue of selecting a leader. Buana, it's going to make the movie 300 look like a picnic on a Sunday afternoon. They're going to be jumping out of windows. When I say Bakepayana, I mean Bakepayana. Already KBF is a persona non grata. Muriamu PF muria. KBF alisa buka fie. Abuka wati chiloto. Yawe ine wa isiyo naria mukubamona bati redi nebo. Bati redi ne. Eva badi insalaine. Imwe. Amidst those wolves. Why manoku imati ninebo? Balakuria. They'll eat you alive. And they'll spit you out and forget that you ever existed. Tabanga shaba PF when it comes to things like that. Then the process has to go through violence. You have to be baptized in fire before you are selected a leader of the PF. You are scorched. Then there's hope for, not if you want matiyo ni nebo bashide. Barakulangula. Ushabala kuchitambuino. Ha, mule angala. Leken nipano tuli. It is here where we are. So, but not only are we on the precipice of witnessing one of the biggest circuses in as far as a selection of ECL successor. I mean, this one's going to be one for the history books. But CNN are going to make a footnote out of this one. Or tell you, Muno Muzambia, twakulatfye alawe mwana na umfwa ala just switch on your social media umfwa febele tukuno umfwa febele badela ndokwe bone fide chitika ku PF secretariat kunaba nabe epaya nawe naba command ba mu command sembe mona ba mu ipaya afwa mwana ele le yangana na PF. Okay, fila tulanda Mozambique. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is that, you see, when any rumor that goes unchallenged becomes fact. So in this current climate that we're in now, even though people are saying, no, they'll sue you, there are so many rumors because you haven't done the right thing. Because you haven't done the right thing, you have opened the floodgates to all manner of conspiracy theories. I'll just mention two. Number one of the conspiracy theories that is out there, and it's in the public domain, kuti, when he was admitted to the hospital, he was admitted under a false name in order to protect his privacy. Unfortunately, when he passed away, that false name that was registered became a complication when it came time to issue the death certificate. That is a conspiracy theory. So if you say, no, we are going to sue you, how many people are you going to sue? Pantu, because of your delaying, because of your stubbornness, because of your refusal, you are the ones creating this political uncomfortability. You are creating a conducive atmosphere for rumor mongering, for innuendo, for gossip, because you haven't done the right thing. The other theory is that ECL is not dead. Now, I'm just telling you the theories. I don't believe in these things. I'm just telling you that is what is there. My point, I'm making the point, Kuti, rumors that are not challenged and clarified, they become fact. And that is your Waterloo. That is your Waterloo that you have to deal with. There's a rumor right now that people believe, no, Limbi Tawafui. Limbi, this is a tactic they are using for him to surprise the Zambian people. Kuti, hello, I didn't go anywhere. Now I know how much you loved me. Onwards to 2026. There are people that believe that. I don't believe it, but my point is there are people out there that believe it. The other conspiracy theory, and I'll close with this, is that the reason the family are delaying is because they know they don't want to come back to Zambia. They want to escape the legal noose. So they are using ECL's body for a clear passage to some other country where they can seek refuge, political asylum. Those are the rumors that are there. So now, if you say, no, well, you can't say that, I'm going to sue you. That is, you are the creator of that. You are the architect of this misinformation because of the way you've handled this funeral. Of course, people are going to talk. Of course, there'll be conspiracy theories flying all over the place as a direct result of your fumbling of this issue. Do you understand that? Anyway, I thought I'd share that with you guys. Thank you for watching. This is 20.